Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymax, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be at about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat belts and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Weird Wednesday once again. How's it going, Jamie?
Going good. You caught me right when I was bending over there trying to get my little jewels.
Yeah, bending over and getting the jewels. Okay. How's everybody in the chat room doing on this Weird Wednesday? The year is almost over. 2020 is almost done.
And everybody's like, it's 2021. Hold on. We still have a few days. Not quite there yet.
We're getting there. I don't know if it's going to get any better, but it's going to be a new year.
It's
new outlook.
definitely going to be a new year.
Yeah.
So how is everybody going to be spending your New Year's this year with the different restrictions and such?
I live in Florida. We don't have any restrictions. Our governor was like, screw you all. Staying open. Nah, we still have some restrictions here. But not like the rest of the country, it seems.
Well, I, for the past several years, have not really gone out to do much for New Year's, like besides just kind of chill around and watch neighborhood fireworks, just because I don't want to I just don't want to deal with drunk drivers and cops and all that.
I was supposed to be playing music New Year's Eve. I had a gig lined up that was paying $1,000, and well, not doing it.
Oh man.
Kind of bummed on that, but got one person in one of my bands that didn't want to play because of the whole COVID thing, and the other one was like, well, it's kind of a long ways from home and it'll be late, and I offered to drive everybody in my giant Suburban. But yeah, I'm just gonna hang out, chill out, watch the neighborhood fireworks because they did. We usually have fireworks on the New Year's Eve at the beach blast here, but they canceled that, and they canceled that like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And so they canceled the 4th of July fireworks here. And hell, I mean, for that matter, they could probably just cancel them every year because the people revolted and the fireworks that were in all of St. Johns County were better than the fireworks downtown anyways. And you know how neighborhood fireworks are. People are crazy. So you got shit like blowing up 30 feet over your roof.
I don't even want to talk about neighborhood fireworks.
My dogs usually, they're not too stoked on it. But it's what it is, I suppose.
Ah, Linda is Cheesecake Mafia. Hello, hello. Might do something Friday, though, or the day after.
Yeah.
New Year's, like on the 1st, but...
Yeah, I've tried to get some of my bandmates to organize a little, live on air live band show. Hasn't happened yet.
Seems kind of hard for y'all to get together on the same day page a lot. Everybody doing different stuff in their life.
And then like some of the places that we played, it's hard to get. Like the one place we were playing a lot a while back, the Wi-Fi signal just sucks down there. So I'd like get on, Facebook or whatever, and the connection would be there and we'd get ready to go live, and then it would be like, no internet connection. Like, awesome.
Famous last words.
Yep. But yeah, I was telling Jamie I'm taking my boat that I've been working on for seems like 10 years, but it hadn't been that long. It's only been a few weeks, but taking it out tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or not. New Year's Eve, the boat ramp could be out of control tomorrow. I didn't really think about that. We'll see. I'm sure the fun police will be out in full effect.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And all the Karens.
Oh, yeah. The boat ramp here, though, it's an awesome place for entertainment, though, to just go hang out and just watch all the crazy shit that happens at the boat ramp between people screwing up, people that have no business being in a boat. Then you have the person that's backing the trailer down that can't back the trailer down.
Oh, that's always fun to watch.
Yeah. You see cars going in the water, and it's a real, what do they call, shit show? Yeah, that's pretty much what it is sometimes, especially on weekends like coming up. And then you see the people that have rented boats.
Oh.
And that sounds like a good idea.
No.
But it's usually not.
It's usually really not.
Yeah. Because you got a bunch of people out there that have no clue what they're doing in a boat.
They throttle out backwards into the docks.
Yeah. What's up, Rhodey? How's it going?
Rhodey! And she's our peril mama.
Yeah, the boat ramp can be sometimes I would just go up there like on lunch break or something and just eat lunch and hang out at the boat ramp and just watch the fiasco going on. There's several YouTube channels that are just, that's all they are, is just shit happening at the boat ramp. Just people like screwing up at the boat ramp. That's all the channel is. And it's like they post like several videos a week of it. There's plenty to go around.
Yeah, I used to think like Berkeley and the city had some of the best people watching in high school. Me and my girl Kyla, we'd go out there and put her blanket down, get her coffee, and sell her little homemade bracelets, and just people watch. Go out
Yeah.
to the city, walk around, people watch. But something tells me you probably have the better people watching.
Yeah, sometimes it's pretty crazy. Yeah, videotaping, huh? I'm planning on doing that. I'm getting some stuff rigged up in my boat for doing video in the boat.
Oh, Laura, Californians are leaving big time, not just because of the restaurants, but because of our Gavin.
That dude
There's
out
a
of his
whole
mind.
thing to get rid of him, a whole petition out to get rid of Gavin.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's dropped taxes like 40, like whatever they're like 43% lower because of him, and he's just not good for the economy. He's not good for anybody.
Well, he thinks he is.
But we have people leaving California in like droves.
Mm. Craziness. Well, speaking of craziness, speaking of craziness in Florida, I haven't done a Florida man story in a couple of weeks, really. Well, we sort of did one or two. And this one, it's a Florida man, but he actually wasn't in Florida when this happened. But he's still a Florida man. And what he did, Florida man arrested for throwing a toilet through the Board of Education window in Illinois.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He threw a toilet through the Board of Education window in Illinois. East St. Louis. Why Dave J. Tolliver, 36, of Florida, was in Illinois kind of remains a mystery. While Mr. Tolliver, why Mr. Tolliver threw a toilet through an East St. Louis School District's Board of Education office window is even a bigger mystery. Yet, throw a toilet he did. Dave Tolliver, 36, is accused of carrying an old toilet to the government building and then throwing it through the front glass of the building. The East St. Louis Police Department said officers who responded to the scene were told that Tolliver ran away after throwing the toilet through the window. But Tolliver was discovered later on the corner of 11th and Cleveland, sitting on yet another old toilet, and he was arrested. There seems to be a lot of old abandoned toilets around this town. 2 days later, St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office charged Tolliver with one count of criminal damage to property, a felony. The 36-year-old was booked on Tuesday at the St. Clair County Jail on a $10,000 bond, and he's scheduled to appear in court on Friday for a preliminary hearing. And again, later for bond and review. Court records show that Tolliver also faces a charge of resisting arrest during this past incident where they found him sitting on another old toilet on the corner. I guess. I don't know.
Like base, like they find a toilet, it's like base.
Why he threw the toilet through the window of the Board of
I think
Education?
the education is shit.
I guess. Why did he go to Illinois to do it? He could have done it here. So that's
maybe. No, I'm not going to go off on all that, but I'd have to see a picture of the guy, and then I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
What does one, look like that throws a toilet?
I thought I had his picture here, but I don't. Yeah, Ziriana, Florida normally does fireworks, on the 4th of July, which they were canceled. And I was just saying earlier, we have a thing called Beach Blast where they do a big fireworks show at the pier here, at the county pier, but it was canceled like 6 months ago. And so no fireworks, no legal fireworks by our county this year. There's going to be plenty of fireworks because when they announced that they were canceling the fireworks, people were like, "Oh, hell no, we're doing fireworks." And right away, the two fireworks stores that are here, they like up the ante and increased inventory dramatically. Did I say that word right? I think I'm butchering words. Yeah, how cool it will travel right through the window. Yeah. People kind of, get tired of the fireworks here. Once they start, they like don't seem to end. And I think a lot of people are partying, so they have these big plans, to do fireworks like right at midnight. And then they do a few, but they've been drinking all night. So that 20-minute fireworks, it's like 3 a.m. and the fireworks are still going off.
Did they do the cowbell too? Ding, 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 ding.
I'm in North Florida, so a lot of times people just go out and shoot their gun.
We just have like these assholes slamming it. It'll be like 30 minutes later, you hear the cowbells going again. That was up in Oakley, though. Like over 10 years, every time there was any sort of firework involving event. I'm not one for like residential fireworks, only because of the strain, the PTSD on our veterans, on our animals, just on our, being. I'm the one that goes out there and sprays the roof off with water. I'm out there like your bushes, your weeds need to be cut a little bit, trying to prevent stuff, because that's something I'm afraid of. We would end up with those stupid bottle rockets, this stuff like hanging up. I'd see it on the gutter, on the roof. It's like that literally is landing on the house.
Yeah.
These things are falling. You see the plugs in the yard. Like, this is not safe.
Yeah.
I almost got hit by one night, a little plug.
Yeah.
Because I'm down there looking up like, oh.
Yeah, I remember I was a kid and like downtown here, they shoot the fireworks off at the bayfront, and everybody like goes downtown to the bayfront and hangs out on the Fort Greene downtown. And I remember being a little kid and people were shooting bottle rockets and stuff, and I got drilled with a bottle rocket. It was a little scary at the time, but for some reason, the weird little kid in me was like, "Oh yeah, that was kind of cool."
You little freak! Where did it hit you?
It hit me in the arm and like kind of burned my hand a little bit, but I don't know. I was a weird little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm a weird big kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was playing last year on the 4th of July. Well, this year for the 4th of July, I was playing music with the band, and I got home and I was driving down the street, and my neighborhood looked like a war zone. There was like mortar shells and sticks and burnt fireworks and crap everywhere. And luckily, a lot of the neighbors went around and picked it up the next morning, once it got daylight. And there was just literally like out by the side of the road, there was mounds of like burnt up fireworks. I got back home and I saw a few fireworks like down where I was playing at, but it was like I was about 45 minutes away from here. And yeah, by the time I got home, Darcy was like, "Oh, you missed the fireworks." It was like a complete shit show going off here.
Does it still smell like gunpowder?
Oh yeah, for like 2 days. What else do I have? Oh, I got this one. I've heard. Actually, Janice sent us this article. Where is it at? I've heard a lot of stories about this. There's a guy on YouTube that has, this is Disney here in Florida and Disney World, and they have several areas. Like this is Discovery Island, I think, is it? Yeah.
Or Treasure.
Yeah, Discovery Island. And it's been kind of closed down. It's just sort of abandoned. And there's different parts of Disney that are abandoned. There's a guy on YouTube I was watching for a while that's made all these videos where he would sneak into Disney World and like go underground, like just full on like covert operations. And he got busted a few times. And the last time he got busted, they came down pretty hard on him. And of course, he's banned from Disney for life. And but yeah, I'll have to remember the guy's name. But he's got pretty good videos.
I thought when I went, it was called like Pleasure Island or something. Unless there's,
there is a Pleasure Island.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But this one, Disney camping trip fail. A man was arrested Thursday, and this happened a while back. But man was arrested Thursday after Walt Disney World security discovered that he was camping on Discovery Island, which has been abandoned for over 20 years. Disney called in Orange County Sheriff's deputy. And by the way, Disney, I don't know why they called in Orange County Sheriff's deputies, because Disney has their own police department there. It's like a self-contained everything. But they called in Orange County Sheriff's Department deputies who searched the area on foot, by boat, and by helicopter before finding Richard McGuire, 42. McGuire claimed that he didn't hear deputies call for him using the loudspeakers and such because he'd been sleeping inside a building on the island. McGuire said he had been camping since Monday or Tuesday or the week before, and that he had planned on staying about a week or so in this little tropical paradise, which he didn't know was off limits. It's part of Disney. How could he not know it was off limits? In addition to being banned from returning to Walt Disney World property, McGuire was arrested and charged with trespassing. The update, as of the latest update, Richard McGuire has accepted a plea deal in the case listed below, and according to court records, the deal was filed. He is now showing that the case is closed. McGuire entered a no contest plea in addition to the trespassing charge, not showing up as a conviction on his criminal record. He was ordered to pay a nominal fee of $100 plus court and prosecution costs, which are probably way more than $100. And he was also banned for life from Walt Disney World property. So, even though it looks like a little resort island, you can't go camping there or they'll arrest you. And then
Disney's no joke.
Yep. And speaking of islands, I just saw a thing that popped up in my news feed earlier that I'm having a brain fart. The girl that played Marianne on Gilligan's Island, she died from COVID. I'm not sure, Ariana, if that's the same guy or not. This guy, he had a couple of friends, and one of them worked at Disney, and he was hanging out with them, and they were making videos. And Disney came down hard on him. They were like pressuring his friends and everything. And he had to he actually took his YouTube channel down for, I don't know, about 8 months or so, because he had other videos on there, and they were, it's Disney. They got enough money to sue the living bejesus out of you. So I'm sure they put the fear in him somewhat, but he still went back.
Disney's as dark as like Scientology and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot behind the scenes of Disney, and it is not warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was geocaching at Disney one time. I used to go down there a lot. I used to have season passes, and we'd always go down there and hang out just for the day or something. And sometimes we'd go and stay for a week. But yeah, I was down there and I was geocaching, and they sort of let you do it, but where I was geocaching at the time,
So that might be a hard place to geo.
yeah, there's a bunch of them hidden in there and pretty easily to find places. But I'd gone down this little like side alley thing, and it was kind of where you weren't supposed to be. And they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm geocaching. No, not here. You're not. Right.
People disappear from Disney.
Yep. Yeah, Disney's all smiles, but
Like the cruise ship girl never was found.
exactly.
So what did they say after you geocached?
They just told me no, I couldn't do it there. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go to Disney jail. I don't want to be, hanging out.
That's just a funny thought.
Yeah, with Goofy or somebody
Waiting for you in the.
Yeah. Oh, I got me some new meat.
There's some fresh meat.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. So.
They tracked you the entire time after that.
Yeah, probably so. I'm sure they got. Well, I know actually they do have like facial recognition and all that stuff there now. Pretty wild stuff. Yeah, if you look it up, look up the dark side of Disney. There's definitely some crazy stuff goes on around down there. But, love Disney or hate it, it is a kind of a cool place that you go, and 99.9% of the people, like the employees and stuff that you deal with there, are all really nice, and everybody's got a smile and everybody's happy.
They'll be beat to death if they don't.
Exactly. It's fantasy world. It's all not real. They're probably having the worst day of their life, and
behind the scenes, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Though since the small world, like they don't want to be there.
Yep. But yeah, speaking of missing people, I have a missing people video we can play here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of weird, the toilet story comes up. Speaking of weird, there's let me get rid of this one picture.
Your background looked cool with the moon right there like that.
Yeah, I figured, it's a full moon tonight or last night. I don't know. The moon's
so full. It's full.
It's a big old moon out there right now.
Like a big old moon.
It's a big old moon. Has anybody heard about the abandoned staircases that are all over national forests? Did I just say that? Forests?
Yeah, because I interrupted you. It's 98.7% still illuminated. Now, what are you saying about these abandoned staircases?
The staircases are abandoned, and they're in the woods, the middle of the woods.
Mysteriously.
Why?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, we got a little video, and Jamie's going to read some stuff, and I'm going to read some stuff about abandoned stairs. Anybody heard of these?
And then we want to get all of your guys' thoughts on what you all think that this could be, because there's a lot of ways my brain goes.
Yeah. As Ariana said, she knows somebody that worked at Disney, and they were horrible to work for. Couldn't get a bottle of water while in the costume and passed out. Yeah, I believe it. And you can't ever break character if you're
Ever.
Never shall you break character.
Oh.
I did see on YouTube, I did see a Mickey Mouse character that without a doubt was fired, but he just had a flip out and was just like had enough and just had a meltdown.
In the Mickey voice?
In the Mickey costume, and came out of the Mickey voice. And, you know, I mean, that could scar kids for life.
Oh, he did it like on the job?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, it happens. You know, they warn you not to do it, but you know it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have just had enough and they're having a shitty day, and
they're human in those costumes.
Yeah.
And they're sick of being by Walt.
Yep. But anyways, back to the staircases. I'm going to read this little thing here. Hopefully it's the right one I'm reading. Let me know if it's not.
Do you want to show the videos and then read it?
Sure, I could do that.
So then they can like get a visual of these and then tell them like where they came from. I found a couple videos on TikTok. That's how I learned about them. I hadn't heard of these as far as I can remember.
TikTok. Jumps over to another video or so here. Mysterious staircases in the woods.
There are so many random staircases found in forests all over the world, and I did some more digging. Where are these staircases coming from and who made them? But most importantly, what happens when you climb one of them? People who have been near these stairs feel some kind of bad and weird energy near them. Others have even spotted bones and a graveyard nearby. When I was searching more into it, people have noticed the stairs were clean and barely any debris on them. But photos like these tell us otherwise, so I don't know what to believe. Someone even said that when they climbed one of these staircases, it led them to a private beach. It almost looked like a private resort that no one really knows about. When he got to the top of the stairs, he found a set of clothes, but couldn't find anybody nearby. The weird part is the clothes look new and clean. And after hearing all of this, do you think that it's just another internet hoax, or is it something beyond this? Now send this to a friend that you would want to climb these stairs with, and let me know if you want a part 3. Okay, bye.
I think there's
Ever see a random staircase in the woods? You have to get away as fast as you can.
I've heard about these stairs before that are in the woods and people even went missing, I guess, but I want to do some digging to see if it's true. Let's go. They've appeared in many national parks and forests. You got to walk like 30 to 40 miles deep into a forest to actually find one of these. And they're made out of wood or cement. And the really weird part is that they're found all over the world. The Philippines, Europe, Montana, Detroit, and even New England. What happens when you climb one of these things? It's probably just another internet hoax. However, a lot of people have stated not to climb them because they can be dangerous.
Like, totally. So yeah, there's these just random, staircases and national. I can't even talk tonight. National parks, and out in the woods. You got to walk 30 to 40 miles out in the woods. That's a hell of a walk in the woods, lady. Come on now. I'm not walking 30 to 40 miles out in the woods to look for some abandoned stairs.
I found some coordinates to a few of them too.
Ah. Well, this first part of the article says, in national parks around the world, so the story goes, there are abandoned staircases deep in the woods where no man appears to have ever lived. You'll find them. Just a staircase, no other structure. Some of the staircases are brick, some are in ruins, some are perfectly sturdy, some cast iron spirals like the kind you'd find in a lighthouse, reaching up to nowhere. At least that's what one group of Reddit users would have us believe. The thread about the creepy happenings in national parks led to an unusual bit of folklore emerging. After one user said they heard of the staircases or had seen them too, sometimes as far as 60 kilometers deep in the forest. How the hell do they get that far in the woods? That would take you like 2 days to get that far in the woods. Unless you're on a four-wheeler or something. Anyways, at first, the stories come out from all over America, New England, West Virginia, New Hampshire, Montana, Detroit. The sightings of these staircases come from as desperate places as Portugal, Brazil, Germany, Norway, and the Philippines. Sometimes a well-kept graveyard would be found nearby too. The first person to tell the story of the stairs was an American Reddit user who claims to be a member of the Volunteer Search and Rescue SAR unit. I don't know if this is true in every SAR unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken, regular thing that we run into. For just about every case, we're really far into the wilderness. I'm talking 30 or 40 miles. At some point, we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like you took the stairs in your house, cut them out, and put them in the forest. I asked about it the first time I saw some, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. What? Move along, nothing to see here. Everyone I asked in the unit said the same thing. I wanted to go check them out, but was told very emphatically that I should never go near any of them. I just sort of ignored them until now when I run into them. I ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently. They went on to explain, and one SAR officer had seen staircases that were flipped upside down. I guess it would be like if you had a dollhouse and the stairs were a separate piece. Now take that, flip it upside down so the top step is stuck in the dirt, and put it out in the woods. Others quickly chimed in with similar experiences. How about that? I didn't realize the stairs were that common. One user said, I came across a set in rural West Virginia. I can't talk tonight. I don't think I was quite 40 miles deep in the woods, but probably at least 10 or better. I thought maybe a house had once stood there, but there was no cellar, no other debris that would indicate a home was ever there before. Just a set of stairs with a base that went up to maybe one flight. 16 steps or so, if I remember right. I could barely shake them. I didn't climb up, though, worried it might break or fall over, and I was all alone, so I passed. One user said they saw some in Michigan. They write, an hour east of Ironwood, there's a clearing in the forest that has stairs. I was hiking and exploring with my cousins, and we stumbled on a clearing about a half a football field long. Had a few staircases, but not against trees or anything. They were just there in the open. They looked like stairs from a normal suburban home, kind of old. The other cousin decided to investigate. He walked to the stairs to see how they were being held up. Couldn't find anything, which kind of weirded him out. He made us all leave. One set of stairs was even found in the middle of the lake, with one comment claiming, I distinctly remember finding a set of stairs coming out of the lake with my family. My father, brother, sister, and I had been on a trip in the boat. We were riding fairly close to the shore, rounded a corner, and came upon a set of stairs sticking 3 to 4 feet out of the water. Nothing else was around at all. Nothing. While most of the stories come from the United States, others around the world claim to have encountered the weird stairs too. German Redditor TK622 says, one of the few people to have snapped images of the stairs they stumbled upon. They write, I saw some stairs in the woods a few years ago, didn't know what to think of them, and just took some pictures. They were covered in moss, but some stairs in the woods covered in moss in the middle of the woods were pretty strange. Didn't know what to think of them, so I took some pictures. While the stairs in the photo aren't as grandiose as the ones imagined in people's tales, they still seem unnervingly out of place. Just metal stairs in the middle of the woods, surrounded by trees, leading to nowhere. Yeah, I haven't personally run into stairs in the woods. I have run into some weird stuff, but no stairs yet. And I wonder, like, could they be from an old house or something? But a lot of these people say there's no foundation, there's nothing, there's just stairs. And usually old houses, unless they're concrete or steel or something, the stairs are going to rot pretty much on the same rate. If they're made out of wood or whatever, they're going to rot the same way the rest of the house would. I was watching
a hacking thing happening right now.
Oh, great. Pecker weeds. I was speaking of abandoned places and all. I was watching a YouTube channel. I think that's what it's called. It's like Weird and Abandoned Places or something is the name of the channel. I was watching it Christmas Day. I was just hanging out here by myself and flipping through watching YouTube channels, and somehow I got sidetracked on that. And it's like I'll be watching videos, I'll kind of nod off on the couch and I wake up and like videos on wood splitting or something is on, and then I nod off and I wake up. It was abandoned places. And this guy, he goes into abandoned mines, like mine shafts and stuff. Dude is seriously crazy. The one video I was watching, it was titled, like, I've never seen so much death in a mine shaft before. And there was just like all these animals, jackrabbits and coyotes and just all kinds of animals that had fallen down this abandoned mine shaft. And it's amazing how many of them there are around.
It's crazy.
Speaking of sidetrack, see how easy I get sidetracked?
Oh, yeah.
I go from stairs to abandoned mines.
Yeah.
Kind of the same creepy feeling, though. I was watching the video and I felt like I was going to have a panic attack. This guy was going down this freaking mine shaft and it was like causing anxiety. I had to turn it off. But then I went back and watched it.
This is crazy.
Yeah, Mary. Maybe the same people. I don't know. The guy I was watching, I mean, he wasn't a young dude and he wasn't like he didn't weigh like $110 or nothing. He was a pretty big guy. And he was crawling in these things and like showing like how far down they went. And climbing down these rickety ass ladders. I'm just like, no, 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 hell no. No,
No, no, no, hell no.
no, no, would I ever bring my ass into one of those things? Nope, not happening. Yeah, I was seriously watching it, like feeling like I was gonna have a panic attack. I guess I found something new that kind of freaks me out. I didn't know abandoned mine shafts freaked me out until I started watching those videos.
The mine shafts?
Yeah.
Oh, we got them out here because we have a lot of coal mines, and so there's a lot of coal shafts and stuff. Some of them are coal mines, and some of them are so bad. There's some down in gold country and stuff that still has like old dynamite. You know, you don't know what's in there, and there's stuff. It just takes one little rock to fall out of the wall for the damn thing to come down. I ain't going down no rickety ass ladder to my death.
Yeah, I mean that, and not to mention, you know, the whole I kind of like afraid of heights. And Zariana, yeah, I'm damn hell sure that I'm not going in one of these things. I don't even want to no, I don't even want to get near one. And but you know, not to mention like my fear of heights and looking down these things and all that. But the guys like going in and filming down this long tunnel thing, and I'm thinking sooner or later the damn subterranean albino monster thing is going to go running in front of the camera. So yeah, I was just getting creeped out on like 10 different levels there. Yeah, I guess if you want to know how to freak me out, drag me down an old mine shaft.
Don't give people your kryptonite.
I know. Somebody be getting hurt. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You got something to read about these abandoned?
I do. So
I'm gonna show some pictures of some.
Yeah, some of these most famous ones we have. The Etruscan Pyramid of Bomarzo. Historically, there, and it looks like this one with the stairs. I guess they're all stairs. Historically, there are numerous ancient structures with staircases that appear to have been important for various people. In Italy, there's a large megalith with stairs that lead to a small platform on the top. Yeah. Scholars believe the structure dates to the 17th century BCE or before. No one knows what really took place on these steps. However, people did perform sky-based divinations and sacrifices of animals and people. Could this have been a I can't talk.
Me either. See, it's catching. You're getting it from me.
Divination tower or altar. And then we've got one.
See, right when you first started talking about this picture, I was, before you even said the whole thing about animal and human sacrifice, I was thinking of that scene from, what was it, Temple of Doom or something, where the dude was like ripping the heart out of people.
I kind of got that vibe from it too. I was seeing it felt like some sort of weird sacrificial area.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I thought in my head. Like, these aren't just mysterious stairs. These were like up there where you like throw a virgin off the end or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next one, it just looks like pictures of like dirt steps. I mean, it's mostly just twigs. It's Mount something colon in the Cambodian province, a puzzling 2,000 long abandoned staircase ascends the Phnom mountain known as Siri. Experts believe the structure dates to sometime between the 9th and 13th century. However, experts aren't sure who built it or why. Perhaps it's a severed pathway to reach the ancient, now buried by the jungle, city of blah da da. Additionally, quarries did exist on or on Kulin Mountain for the construction of the temples. Did the king, whoever the second, build the staircase for workers to acquire building supplies in the 12th century? And then we've got Madame Cherie's stairs. And that's that one that has like the 3 circle things that was in your article too. In Chesterfield, New Hampshire, a set of stairs in the woods has earned a legendary rep. Although not a true mystery, the staircase rouses curiosity. Well, there's a story behind it. During the 1920s, a music hall singer built her castle in the woods to serve as a summer retreat. Although it didn't boast dimensions of a true castle, it was a rustic French chateau with stunning stone staircase, complete with Roman arches that led to the second floor. She held lavish parties, and rumors have it that scandalous things went on there. She may have even supplemented her income by operating as a real madam in business with many beautiful ladies. However, when the madam fell into poverty, she abandoned her chateau. In 1962, the castle burned down, and today only the stairs and part of the foundation remain. And so a lot of the staircases, that was something I was thinking, because like when there's certain types of staircases and there's fires, the only things left over will be like the chimneys.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, depending on it, a staircase. But then you would normally see a foundation or something around it.
Yeah.
Then they talk about, we don't have pictures for these, but they have one in the Philippines. There's the vanishing staircase in the 1940s. Another great story came from a man who claims to work with the CDC as an infectious disease specialist. He said that in the 40s, after the Roswell crash, reports of animal mutations surfaced. The CDC was called in to assist with the investigation, which was supposed to last only 1 or 2 weeks, but in fact lasted 6 months. During that time, various people working in the field reported weird stairs that were giving off some type of frequency. They stationed their campsite about 30 meters away from the stairs and spent the night, but when they woke up, the stairs had moved. On the ground where the staircase had been was a dark black spot that appeared burnt. He continued with the story. Next 2 days, the staircase reappeared, but 50 meters away. They decided to do some readings and tried to sample part of the staircase, but the wood structure staircase was harder than steel. None of it could be chipped off for sampling. Although investigators determined that the stairs emitted a frequency, they couldn't figure out why or who was receiving it. 6 days later, the stairs vanished. I guess there's that one I thought was interesting. Then there's one in Sweden, a ghostly staircase. Another tale about a staircase in the woods involves 2 Swedish students who were out hiking. Axel and Isaac had been traveling for miles, presumably hours, when they'd come across a staircase in a clearing miles away from anything. They were both puzzled, but they couldn't agree what to do. Axel wanted nothing at all to do with the stairs, while Isaac was much more daring. He wanted to climb them and did so. The instant he reached the top, both youths heard a blood-curdling shrill scream that was sufficient to make them flee the scene. Eventually, they stopped running and recovered their breath. That's when someone put a hand on Alex's shoulder. Assuming it to be Zach, he glanced backward. Isaac stood behind him at a considerable distance, much too far to be within the arm's reach of him. Whoever or whatever was responsible for the touch, Axel recalled, it felt cold. So a lot of different things, like not to go up at people losing time. Would you guys go up the stairs if you saw it? And what do you think? Where do you think these stairs came from? One of them had an explanation, but
see, like some of those ruin looking stairs, I can see that, but like the one that's up right now, that's not like it's not stairs from a ruin.
No, that one I was thinking, could be like if that was stone or something and it was the last thing standing in a house, but I don't see any erosion. I don't see where it looks like that was a foundation. Normally, where there is a house, is a big clearing, trees grow a certain way where civilization was. And it doesn't look like a spot that had a home built.
Laura's packing up and ready to go to the stairs to nowhere here.
I will look it up. There's a lot. If you look these up, there's a lot, and a lot of people actually give you coordinates to some of them. They've got them all over the states, all over the world. Let us know how that goes.
Yeah, it's that would be a good Randonautica trip.
It would be, and bring your ghost EVP up there.
Yeah. What's up, Debbie? How's it going? Well, speaking of missing time and missing people and whatnot, I have a little video just about that subject.
You do?
And it goes something like this. Yeah, this is, I've been watching that David Pilates a lot and Missing 411 and different stuff like that. And like, it's amazing how many people just vanish, just gone, just disappear. The one that really stuck with me was the 3 or 4 guys that were out hunting, and they were on a hunting trip, and they're all in their tree stands, and they agreed to meet back at the truck, at like whatever, 4 o'clock. I don't know what the time was, but they agreed to meet back, at a certain time. And they all got back to the truck, and one of their buddies was missing. And so they're hanging out, thinking, well, they didn't hear a gunshot or anything, but they're thinking maybe, shot a deer or something, out looking for it or tracking it or whatever. And they're hanging out. And they're like, we got to go look for him. It's getting dark.
Wait, they did hear a gunshot?
No, they didn't.
Oh.
And so they go to the area where his tree stand is, and there's his tree stand, and his gun's there, his phone, all of his gear is there. Everything's there except for him. He's gone. And he just disappeared. Like something just plucked him right out of the tree.
Wow.
And they never found this guy. He's just gone. So yeah, no, like, okay, maybe a bear crawled up the tree and attacked him and drug him off. No scuff marks, no blood, no footprints, no nothing. Like he just was sitting in the tree one minute and vaporized and went who knows where.
He's still never been found?
Nope. Gone.
We should do a ghost box thing on him.
Not a trace. And that there's like,
what happened to him?
Yeah, there's been just tons of them like that. Weird. So anyway, let's play this video. For tonight's Legends and Lore story, we're talking about missing people. Where did they go? How did they get there? What happened to them? Different people have just turned up missing without a clue. Some of them have been very well-known people, like a few on this list. First up, Richie Edwards. He was a punk musician, a guitarist, and a lyricist for the band Manic Street Preachers. And he was unafraid to pull the occasional stunt to prove how real he was. In 1991, when questioned in an interview about his authenticity of his grim persona, he grabbed a razor blade and carved the phrase "for real" into his right arm, right there and then. Many believe that his disappearance in 1995 was just another publicity stunt until he'd been missing long enough that they had presumed him dead. His family swore that suicide was never an option for him, but his car was found abandoned near a bridge that was known for suicide jumps, so that seemed to be the most likely conclusion. Nothing's ever been found. In December 1967, Australia misplaced its 17th Prime Minister, Harold Holt. Seeing as he chose to go swimming on an otherwise deserted beach that witnesses have described as a day when the surf was particularly rough, it's most likely that he simply drowned and his body was never found. Of course, Occam's razor did not stop people from forming the conspiracy theory. Some say he was killed by the CIA for wanting to pull Australia out of Vietnam, while others say he was a Chinese spy and faked his death to defect back to China. Ironically, Australia decided to open a swimming pool center in his name and memory. In the 1950s, Connie Converse was a relatively unknown and unsuccessful musician. Today, she is widely credited as the first true singer-songwriter. Feeling like a failure, she quit music in 1961 and settled down into a quieter life. In 1974, still carrying the heavy burden of regret on her shoulders, she loaded her car, told her friends she was starting a new life, and simply disappeared, never to be heard from again. Is it possible that she committed suicide or died in some other way? Or is it also possible that she was insanely successful in her fresh start and lived to see herself get the credit she deserved? In the 60s, Jim Sullivan was a cult folk rocker. In the 70s, he was just days away from his big break when he disappeared. This was a man who had all the talent, all the right connections, and had just landed a big gig in Nashville, Tennessee that would have been his big break, if he ever made it there. His car was found on an abandoned road in New Mexico outside of Santa Rosa. His belongings, including his guitar, were later found in a nearby motel, but there was no trace of the man himself. Some theorize he simply chose to disappear, but all his friends stated that there's no way Jim would have ever left his guitar behind. Next up, Barbara Newhall Follett. She was a bit of a writing prodigy in the jazz age. She published a critically acclaimed novel at age 13. Everybody agreed that she would be the next great American writer, and she probably would have been, if it hadn't been for her father. He ran off with a younger woman, leaving her and her mother penniless. She started working as a typist at age 16 and was never known to write again. In 1939, after 10 years of this, Follett had an argument with her husband, left the house, and simply disappeared. He didn't look very hard for her, and police and the press weren't even notified until 1966. It's possible that she died, but it's also possible that she disappeared and very successfully became a writer. Maybe we even know her now under another name. Next up, Fan Bingbing. She was one of the biggest actresses in China, and one of the only ones to become internationally successful after her role in X-Men: Days of Future Past. However, the Chinese government discovered that she had been committing tax evasion, and on July 1st, 2018, she disappeared. The Chinese government has been known to disappear artists for such crimes. Artist Ai Weiwei once went missing for 3 months. She posted on social media making an apology statement in October, but still has yet to be seen. Who knows where she is or when she'll be released? In 2000, Rico Harris was a promising basketball player and a member of the famous Harlem Globetrotters. His life slowly began to spiral downward due to alcoholism. He reached rock bottom when he was fired from his job as a security guard in LA for being drunk at work. He picked up his stuff, packed his car, drove from his mother's home to his girlfriend's in Seattle. His car was found with all the stuff still in it outside of Sacramento. For days afterwards, people made reports of seeing a tall man wandering the side of the highway, and human footprints matching his approximate size were found, but they stopped abruptly. Many believe that he was picked up as a hitchhiker, but after that, it's a mystery. Whatever happened to him? He just disappeared. Jim Thompson was the businessman who turned Thai silk into a global commodity. A former agent of the OSS, basically the CIA before the CIA was a thing, he moved to Thailand and started one of the most successful business ventures in the history of the world. Becoming a rich socialite by 1967, that was the year that he left for a biking trip in Malaysia. He never returned. Any number of things could have happened to him. He could have been taken out by other Bangkok businessmen, the Thai government, by the agent anti-CIA faction, or even the actual CIA. He definitely didn't just die in the wilderness, though, because he had survival training. Something fishy happened to him. It's just that nobody is sure what. His huge home is now a museum in Thailand. Last up, everybody knows the story of Amelia Earhart, one of the greatest aviators of her time, who disappeared in 1937 in an attempt to fly around the world. The thing is, though, that's not the whole story. Her plane didn't simply vanish, as everybody thought for years. Naval ships were receiving radio transmissions for her from days after the plane landed on a small, uninhabited island in the Pacific, too low on fuel to carry on. Days after the transmission stopped, after her plane was likely carried out to sea, the U.S. Navy sent planes to fly over the island. They didn't see any planes or people, so they wrote off all credible transmissions as a hoax. They never actually sent anyone down to the island to check for sure. It is now believed, due to a dig that turned up artifacts from the time, that she did survive on the island for many months. Her body, was never found because the island seems to be inhabited by huge coconut crabs, large creatures that have been known to eat whole animals and carry off their bones. So that's just a few of well-known missing people around the world. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah, so it's not just random people that disappear. It's also people that are, kind of in the spotlight that have.
I did not know that about Amelia and the crabs
Yeah,
and all that.
I watched the show on that not too long ago.
I don't remember ever knowing that she lived. Like, I didn't know about the signals and all that.
Yeah,
I don't think. Unless
that all just came out in the last, I think in the last year or so.
Then I didn't know about that.
And I guess they flew a plane over the island, like, when it happened or whatever, but they didn't see anything. And you couldn't land a plane there, and I'm assuming it was so far out in the middle of BFE that they didn't have a helicopter or something to go land there.
Yeah.
Just assume that nobody was there, but people have gone back to the island now, and they did a dig and supposedly found all kinds of stuff, leading up to her being there. And the crabs the coconut crabs that are there, they're huge. And they eat whatever they can find.
Like, they actually eat bone?
Yeah, or they drag them away and
use the bone?
Yeah.
Or just like pick off the bone?
Yeah. Yeah, they're big.
Damn, they could take a whole body apart too. All cartilage, everything, the way those things could pick apart.
Yep. So who knows? Yeah, I mean the list of well-known people throughout time is pretty huge. That was just a few of them. I mean the list is huge. And there's just random everyday people, like you and me that have just disappeared. And I mean I'm sure some people have just wandered off and ended themselves and
Got in a fight with the bear and lost.
yeah. I'm sure some people have like somebody said, ran into a serial killer or something. I mean, if you're just out there hoofing it, walking around aimlessly on the highway, who knows who's going to pick you up, Jeffrey Dahmer. God, speaking of that, I just watched a show yesterday. Yeah, see, here I go, getting sidetracked again. Has anybody seen, golly, what is the name of this guy? Now I'm going to have to look it up real quick.
I don't know, Lara. I don't think I realized that either.
Anybody heard of the Cape Cod Casanova? His name was Tony Costa.
Could it have possibly been on like an ID show?
Probably. Yeah. I just saw it yesterday.
And a nice house.
I don't know. I don't remember him saying anything about the house. But yeah, I went over to see Sam yesterday, and of course, she watches all those crazy, ID shows and all that, and she's like, "Oh, have you seen this one?" And we sat there and watched that. And
Which one?
It's about this guy, Tony Costa. They called him the Cape Cod Casanova. If you guys,
Which show was it?
It was just on YouTube.
Oh,
It's a video about it. Yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, this dude was seriously freaking demented.
because the name sounds familiar, and I feel like I've seen something on the ID channel about the guy, but I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
All these Casanovas.
Yeah, this guy was, man, he was.
What did he do?
He was bad. He would, like when he was a kid, I guess is what I got out of the short video that I watched yesterday. Is
If he hurt animals, I don't want to know.
Oh, well, he was into taxidermy when he was a kid.
Okay, well, I figured so. So
Yeah, I mean, there you go. And yeah, Don, I agree.
Most serial killers start out that way. And
Yeah, I think when he was like 14 or so, 13 or 14, he went over to the next door neighbor, which was a little girl, and they kept finding him. He had her like tied up and had all her clothes off.
how old was he?
Like 13 or 14.
And how old was the girl?
She was a little younger.
Ew, what a little creep.
Yeah, oh man, he was a full-on little creep as a kid. And you would have thought maybe his parents would have been like, we're seeing a pattern here, because he was doing all kinds of weird shit, like with animals and this and that. And
So many parents just let it go, though. They see that stuff, but they won't do nothing about it.
well, supposedly his dad left because he was afraid of him. No, excuse me, he wasn't afraid of him. He just left because he was just done with this kid. And his mom was afraid of him because he was so crazy.
Lovely.
Yeah, he grew up, and he got into taxidermy and this and that, and yeah, he was like killing people, mainly girls, and like cutting their heart out and stuffing it up their hoo-haws and like chopping them up and they were finding out in the woods at this one place, they were finding like body parts, not the whole body, just parts of bodies, like every
Unidentifiable pieces, probably.
yeah, head,
No
torso.
fingers.
Yeah, this guy had a whole list of
No teeth in the head.
craziness going on. Yeah, if you want to watch some demented serial killer stuff, look him up. The Casanova, Cape Cod Casanova is what they called him. Yeah, it's pretty, you know, I mean, I understand weirdness and, you know, doing weird things. And I mean, even like committing sex crimes and stuff, you know, as screwed up as that is, I sort of understand it. I understand the mentality of that person or whatever, but what happens to that person when they go from that to actually chopping a person's body up, taking their organs out and shoving them up other orifices and having sex with them after they're all chopped up? Like, where's the line from just normal weirdo to that? What happens? I don't.
When I went to the Museum of Death in San Diego, even I couldn't handle some. It was when I got to the children's side. That's when I couldn't do it no more. Yeah. But it was full of like crime scene photo. There was like one room that was all pictures from crime scenes, like the real pictures. And surprisingly, how many people pose with their, you know, corpses.
Yeah.
One lady and this guy were posing with this guy that they had killed. Different things. They had cut his junk off, taken pictures holding it, this and that, shoved it in his mouth, and then sewed it up. So, you know, when the autopsy comes, they open it and it's like, oh, well, there it is.
There it is.
And they're sitting there like posing with it, like so happy. Like if you, like, I always look at people's eyes in a mugshot. Like, okay, 24 hours ago, this person just killed somebody and this is what they look like. That's what a human looks like right after they've just killed and dismembered, you know? Well, these people are still up in it and they're just like nothing.
Yeah.
And my mind cannot wrap around like how somebody can be like that.
Yeah.
Like that's just some, I don't know what happens when people are born that gives you those urges and not to care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like laughing and like, why do you got to cut him up and shove it in his mouth and sew his mouth shut? Like to what's it called? Disgrace them more or
yeah.
Humiliate, like when they'll leave people naked, like to humiliate and have them posed. Sick ass people. One guy cut off the head of somebody because he can still see so long after. Put the body was sitting on the end of the bed like this, and then the bookshelf was right across. Well, the cops come in, they look, they just see a body sitting up. They realized on the bookshelf there's the head, so they cut off his head, put it on the shelf so he could watch himself die.
Jeez.
Savage.
Yeah. This is a picture of this guy, you know, and he has that classic weird kind of look. But I mean, otherwise, I mean, he's kind of a normal looking dude. You know, if you saw him out in the grocery store, you wouldn't think, oh, this guy chops people apart and, you know, rearranges their body and then have sex with them. I don't know. Weird world we live in for sure. And speaking of weird serial killers, if you want to look up another truly demented one from way back in the day, like you think now, I always think, man, people are getting weirder and weirder, but this was like way back in the day. Look up the serial killer named Albert Fish. That dude was totally
FICH.
I think it's just FISH.
Oh.
I think. But yeah, he would like kidnap little kids and eat them and then send a letter to the parents of the kid telling them which parts he ate.
No, he did not. That's just the most horribly disgusting, demented.
I'm telling you, man, it's a sick world we live in. Yeah, I watched that one a while back and was
I
just
don't want to hear testimony, much less what you actually consumed.
yeah, telling him how he cooked them and
Oh, I would want to. Ooh,
yeah,
ooh, that'd be hard to keep me out of. Ooh.
yeah. And this was way back in the day. Let me pull this guy's picture up.
Sarah asked what his name was again.
Tony Costa, Cape Cod Casanova. Yeah, this other guy, Albert Fish. I mean, this is like way back in the day. Here's his picture. Yeah. So this was way back. And man, he was.
Oh God, you look at the face, look at the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a. They called him the Brooklyn Vampire, the Werewolf of Wisteria, Moon Maniac, the Boogeyman. He had all kinds of names. The Gray Man. Fish once boasted that he had children in every state. At one time, he stated the number of his victims was about 100. However, it's not known whether he was referring to rapes or cannibalism.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, like, what constitutes as having.
Yeah, man.
Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
He was convicted and executed by the electric chair on January 16th, 1936, at the age of 65. It says his crimes were dramatized in the 2007 film called The Gray Man.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, but
but the name.
Dude. He was a real piece of work.
I feel like there's gonna be this big old unicorn thing growing right here. You see me messing with it, tell me don't mess with it. Because you know I will.
Yeah. It's a weird world we live in. You know, you think, I mean, 2020 sucked, but
Weird and fucked up.
yeah, at least we don't, have to deal with shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, so if you haven't seen, if you like serial killer stuff, look that stuff up. It's wow.
Well, we are down to half an hour, and do we have anything else to read?
No.
Well, we have a game to play.
There you go.
Actually had this set up for Halloween, for our Halloween show, but we didn't have time for it. So I changed the Halloween words to, what does 2021 have in store for you? It's like a fortune board. And there's all sorts of cool little fortunes on here. Adventure awaiting, Luck will always be on your side. Just little positive things for fun. So we're going to play some Zener cards.
You will find stairs in the forest. Do not climb them.
And whoever is the first to get it each time will get to have a spin from the Wheel of Fortune.
From
So
Wheel
we have
Fortune.
green stars, red pluses, yellow circles, blue wavy lines, and black squares.
Blue diamonds, pink hearts. Oh, me lucky charms.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So out of those 5 things, when I hold a card up, you have to picture which of these I'm picturing in my mind, and whoever gets it right first gets a spin of the wheel. And if we have time after, we'll pull some cards. Okay. So I've got my first one.
I'm going to go with the plus sign. Wreath of the Star. Cheesecake Mafia with yellow circle. Lori says star. No, excuse me. Lori says cross. Brenna says star. Zach says a shape. Wendy says yellow circle. Don says wavy. Debbie says star.
All right, going once,
Viriana says square.
going twice. And it goes to Rob because he was the first one to say a red plus.
Really?
So you get a spin of the fortune board.
Wheel of Fortune.
Surprises, nice surprises are just ahead.
I like nice surprises.
Yes, nice surprises are just ahead.
Wow.
Let's try that again. We'll do a couple of these and we can do cards. All right. And here's the next one.
I'm going to go with wavy lines. Put in your bids now. And with waves. Brenna wavy lines. Lori star. Zach square. Cheesecake Mafia yellow circle. Sarah has a star or rectangle. Don with wavy lines. Zoriana plus sign. Laura blue wavy.
Going once. Going twice. And I believe this goes to Cheesecake Mafia for the yellow circle. I see Sarah was right after her too. So you get a spin of the board. Doesn't spin that great. The point is on the white. So the future is bright for you.
Don says boobs. I'll vote for that one. Same.
You got my vote. Okay, should we do one more?
We should.
All right. And ready.
I'm going to go for square. Yeah, Zach, 2 are definitely better than 1.
But anything over a handful's a waste.
Well, yeah, I'm not picky.
Going once. Going twice. And it goes to Cheesecake Mafia again.
Nailing it.
Blue waves. But Sarah also got the blue wave. So because those two are so on the same brainwave, I'm going to give her a spin also. But this one is for Cheesecake Mafia. Adventure awaits. And this one is for Sarah. I wonder if I do it this way. So you can see how I had to rig it back here. Like nuts and bolts. I had to make this little spinner.
You said nuts.
A new love will come your way. And if you're in a relationship, that could mean maybe you're going to get another pet or something. This actually came from the dollar store at Halloween. You guys want to do one more of those or just move on to cards? Blur boobies.
Who wants to spin on the wheel of fortune?
The wheel of fortune.
Was that Vanna White?
It was.
It was.
Oh, it's all right. You guys don't have to see the colors. The shapes are good enough.
Blue, navy blue.
All right. Marie wants a card. And we've got probably enough time to do everybody's readings. Because that's what, 25 minutes? And Marie would like the first card. What deck do you have tonight, Rob?
The Oracle of the Seven Energies.
Ooh, maybe Marie would like a card from that. And anybody else that would like to have a card pulled, just put a thumbs up in chat. Just put a thumbs up and we'll know that that means you want a card. And we will get to everybody, even if it goes over a few. You will get your card.
Funny, Brenna, because what I had for dinner tonight was 2 chicken breastises.
I bet you did.
Ate one. Like, well, I say I ate them. I think my dogs actually got more chicken than I did.
I bet those little babies did too, those sweet little faces.
Yeah.
I
And
wonder how you can-
those sweet little faces almost earned a solid trip to live outside yesterday.
Why'd they shit all over?
Oh my God. It's been like, they've been really good. Really good. No pooping in the house, no nothing. Well, they made up for it yesterday. I got up and it was like a shit fest. It was everywhere.
Oh, poor babies.
Yeah, poor me.
Poor Rob and the babies.
They knew they were in the shit house too. They're all happy, like wanting to go outside. I'm like, why do you want to go outside now? You already crapped everywhere in the house. What do you need to go outside for now? And they were just like, and hung their head and like walked off.
For them to crap outside.
All right. Am I saying your name? Is it Mary or Marie?
That's my middle name, Marie.
Is it?
Marie.
All right.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay, I won't say anything. First card is the land between. I have the energy of the 7 oracles and I almost dropped the whole deck on the floor just then. It was close. Very close. The land between. Key concepts of this card: being between worlds, learning to be okay while at the threshold of what was and what will be. A time of waiting and evolving, gray areas, something essential yet still in development. Says you're in a process of change. You know that you were called to it and can no longer be who you were, but you aren't sure of what the next experience of your life will be. You are in between what was and what could be, in a pupal stage, like during the metamorphosis of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. However, you can't just skip the messy parts. You have to endure the unknown and the uncomfortable to reinvent yourself. The thing is, you're not quite there yet. You have one foot in the past, even if you're ready to shed that version of yourself and become something new. You must start redefining who you are in the context of your question. What do you believe is possible when you get to the next place? Can you explore the stage of evolution to get to know yourself better? The process in between worlds is where things get really interesting. You learn how to manage your fear, how to stay present in the now, how to see into the dark. You absorb the lessons offered to you with grace because you can't go any faster. This is a real test of emotional fortitude, patience, trust, and humility. Once you have made this no man's land your home, it will be part of you. Then whatever was set in motion comes to life. This is what you've been waiting for. When you look back, you will grow to love this place in between, for that is where you were reborn. That's an interesting card.
Okay.
That resonates with you, but
Tonight I'm going to be, because it's full moon and I've been connecting up these real well, I'm going to do the moonology tonight. I kind of started making a list here. Laura, Wendy, Azuriana, Cheesecake Mafia, Sarah, Zach, Brina, Debbie, Lori, Don, Mike. So if I missed anybody, I'm going to go in order. So this one is for Cheesecake Mafia. You got A Time for Healing. Balsamic Moon. A Time for Healing. These are the, oh, here we go. Pulling this card suggests that the past is in the past and a bright future is beckoning. However, before you take your next step, make sure that both you and the situation feel healed. This is not the time to paper over cracks or to simply pretend that everything is okay. Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and anyone else in need. Then remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. This is also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe. Powerful insights can be had if you know that someone or something really isn't good for you. This card is a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams so you're ready when the time comes. To attune to the moon, when one is healed, all is healed. Additional meanings: it's time to let go of the past. You are about to turn the corner. You need more time to heal. Think about how the situation would look if everyone were healed. Teaching: patience is required at the time of the balls. I'm saying it like a salad dressing. Moon: it's time for self-care as you slowly but surely prepare yourself for the new moon, which is just around the corner. No matter which point in the current moon cycle you have pulled this card, it's just a reminder to go a little bit easy on yourself. The time to step into your creative power will come soon enough. Give yourself the time that you need. And then after, we've got Sarah.
All right.
And I'm going to shuffle Zach while you're doing Sarah.
Get the spirit of gratitude. In prayer, we connect directly to the higher power. It's a way for us to be in communion with the divine, a reminder that our lives are sacred conversations and we are continuously engaged in. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffering our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the question of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humanity knowing we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful prosperity prayer of all. When you focus your attention on appreciation for even the smallest aspects of your life and what you have already experienced, it's like waving a magic wand. Everything you need comes to you without effort. Obstacles fall away and your purpose becomes even clearer. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you're grateful and ask to be a channel for the divine purpose. Divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. The key concepts of the card: prospering power of prayer, communication with the divine, expressing a deep gratitude as you move through this world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be.
Hello, Sherry. And do you mean you can't see anything on the screen? You might have to refresh, maybe. All right, and I did Zach's while you were reading, and Zach got bring love into the situation. New Moon and Aquarius. As you guys know, 2021 is going to be ruled by Aquarius. We're moving into a whole new age of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about progress and modernity. So this is the time to move forwards. The new moon in Aquarius cards means no looking back. Change is on its way, and it could come quickly. Whether you get the change you want depends both on whether you believe you can have it and how much you're relying on others to bring it to you. This card comes with a suggestion that you may need to do things independently on your own, but be loving, not too pragmatic. Time may be of the essence when this card comes up. Aquarius energy has an electric feel to it. Certainly there's a sense that you need to let go of the past and move forwards to your future as soon as possible. Attuned to the moon. Explore the idea that it's not what you know, but whom you know. Additional meanings for this card. You need to be more detached from the situation. Thinking outside the box will bring the solution. More pragmatism is called for. Improve your karma by doing some charitable work. The teaching. Aquarius is the sign of invention, modern advances in technology, and humanity. Its energy is a little brittle. It's individual, scientific even, and relatively emotionally detached. Many people think Aquarius is a water sign because the Aquarius symbol is the water bearer, but it's actually an air sign and is far more about intellect than the emotional water signs. As is this card, no matter when you draw it, dropping convention works well with this energy. And then we've got, after Zach, I should have screenshot that, Brina.
It is.
And I'll shuffle Debbie.
The Filling the World card. A girl looking into like a snow globe with everything inside it. And this is the card. It says, empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It's a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've turned into. You've tuned into, not turned. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, this connection is not a good one for you. No matter how charismatic the person is or how attracted to them you feel. Do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb. Instead, present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. While it's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you, discernment is necessary. Be firm yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and important. It just has to be balanced in order for you to access its wondrous gifts. Today, celebrate the beauty of your sensitivity and that of others.
Well, I just pulled one for Debbie, which is really cool because when I chose this deck just now, I was going to do another one, and I thought, well, we're on a full moon, so I want to do the moon cards because they're so in touch. I thought, I wonder if one of us will actually get the full moon card on the full moon.
There you go. Boom.
Boom. Surrender to the divine, the full moon card. The very word climax brings all sorts of images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when the moon cycle you pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold, to attune to the moon. I am getting the answers that I need. Additional meanings for this card. A wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break it time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe and stay calm. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. It's time to let go of the past and move on. The teaching. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time of the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long.
Nice.
So after her, sure, Wolfie. Let me edge Wolfie. Where's my Leos? Lori. So we've got Lori, Don, Mike, Azriana, Lara, Wendy, and Wolfie. So now you're on Lori. And I'll start shuffling Don.
It is what it is card. And it says, what happens when you look at the world? Can you see it exactly as it is or only as you assume it to be? A door closing isn't an invitation to take a battering ram to it. What if there were another door to lead you to your destiny? If you can release your attachments to getting what you want, you'll be surprised how much energy you have for more important things. Liberated from the burden of yearning, you'll have access to what is best for all. Can you try now to accept things as they are and shift your focus and attention until that other door opens up for you? Radically accept life on life's terms. When you stop fighting against it and instead fight for what you truly desire, more of the world becomes available to you. When you are no longer in denial about what is in front of you, you will be empowered to make necessary changes with respect to yourself, your attitude, and your choices. The irony is that real transformation can happen once you surrender to the idea that things are exactly as they are meant to be. If you step back with clarity and acceptance, you will realize that life is offering you something magical. Even if circumstances send you on a temporary detour, you will discover treasure beyond your imagination and a new way to embrace the world. Keep this prayer in mind. God grant me this God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The things I should change right now is put my glasses on.
And I just pulled for... I keep losing my spot. Okay. That was Lori, right?
Yep.
Okay, then I've got Dawn. Dawn's card. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. First and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally. Whatever has been going on in your working life, this card heralds the start of a new and improved work cycle. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. Whatever your question, whether work related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months or even 5 years time. It's kind of hard right now during, what we're going through, but still have an idea. That will inform your best course of action now. So think seriously about it. Drawing this card suggests it's a time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is that you want to achieve. Attuned to the moon. Make a proper plan and execute it well. It's kind of in a weird attune. Additional meanings for this card. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. A very good omen for study or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. The teaching. Capricorn is a sign of ambition, building, and hard work. The energy is solid and rigid. The new moon in Cap is a very powerful lunation that comes toward the end of each year and marks arguably the best moment annually to make a list of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and intentions for the year ahead. Pulling this card at any time suggests that with planning and discipline, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. And then after Dawn is Mike. And then I'll shuffle Azuriana.
It is the Enchanted Sea card. And it says, your comfort zone is sometimes exactly that, a safe, familiar harbor you finally come into yourself. You have a sense that you don't need more than what is available right where you've landed in life. Now, however, is not one of those times. Like the archetypical like hero's journey, the universe is inviting you to step into uncharted waters. Something is stirring. Adventure is calling. You may want to resist this urge because it will involve leaving your comfort zone, but embarking on this journey is essential for your well-being. Navigating the uncharted aspects of yourself means you won't have a map because no one else has been here. On this journey, you cannot rely on the help you would typically expect from others who have gone before you. This new territory is yours to explore. You're invited to be a pioneer, a path maker, a magical cartographer who draws your map with your own life force as the ink. This is the day to dive into a novel experience and fully immerse yourself in the new. You don't know what the sea of possibility has in store for you, so stay curious and refrain from judgment or the need to label. Give yourself the time and freedom to be curious without the limitations and boundaries projected by your memories or expectations. You are in an amazing place right now, and you will never be the same for surveying these waters. That's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. I've got Azariana, and then after her is Laura. So if you want to get Laura's ready while I'm... This is for Azariana. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. That sounds good already. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. To attune to the moon. Release control and trust in the universe. Additional meanings for this card. A professional project may be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private issues and lives. And it's time to stop fearing the worst. The teachings. The full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy and will more than likely come up when you're asking about a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling about your situation. And this applies no matter when you draw this card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time.
A good one.
And so you've got Laura.
Yep.
And then I've got Wendy, and then you will have Wolfie, and I believe that's it.
It is the Let It Go card. And it just happened to be one when I was shuffling that kind of popped out on its own.
Wait, you're doing Laura?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she wanted to pop out.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird that one kind of did that.
Yeah.
There are times in your life when you must forgive, lest you become hostage to your anger, frustration, disappointment, and resentment. This is not about condoning bad behavior or minimalizing a hurt done to you. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing the pain over and over again. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story you were a victim. It's time to cut the inevitable cord attaching you to this situation and preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, you're victimizing yourself every time you recreate an unsolved hurt in your mind or speak of it with friends. Rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to your higher powers. Now's the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms and forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as, oh boy, here we go, Ho'oponopono. The simple prayer is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality we see in this world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception or emotional reactions, your judgment, and so forth, it's up to you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to be a liberated and meaningful life. No matter what method you choose, just do it.
For Wendy, I got you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. I don't remember ever pulling this one. There's a new start coming in your private life. Something is rising up in connection with the people and places you hold dearest. This can be to do with a member of your family, a flatmate, or moving house. If you're hoping to move forward with something special in your private life, this card comes to you as a message that you can do it. If you've been neglecting your family, it's time to reconnect with them. If you've been neglecting yourself, you need to take better care of yourself and nurture yourself more. If your insecurity is holding you back, that's something for you to work on now. Doing so could bring you to your heart's desire. To attune to the moon, make sure you put family first. Additional meanings. Let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. It's time to review your goals. Have they changed? Meditation will help you banish your insecurities. Spending time near water will bring you peace and answers. The teaching. The full moon in Cancer can be a super emotional time. The moon is all about emotions, and Cancer is a water sign. It's also very emotional. Saying that the moon is very happy in the sign of Cancer. It's one of her 2 favorite home signs along with Taurus. So whenever you pull it, this card suggests that whatever happens next will be in your favor. It's especially positive for family matters. Well, that's a good one, especially right now. I want to hear if people are safe. And then you got Wolfie, right?
Yep. It is. It's
So
quieting the mind card. I have a zen-y looking picture going on here. Life is chaotic, busy, loud, frenetic, and overwhelming. Some days all the noise is like the roar of thunder echoing around you, and it feels as if you are being pummeled by the rainstorm. Isn't this why we take vacations? Oh boy, I could use one of those. To get away to somewhere peaceful. In spite of the surrounding din of the world, today you need to slow down and find a bit of peace. So go ahead and take a deep breath right now. Make a commitment to be still, if only for 5 minutes. Count your breaths and be mindful of every one of them. Know that you have all the time in the world to do the things you need doing. Everything is perfect as it is. Our core beliefs about the world originate in our thoughts and feelings, which then become our perceptions. If our thoughts are all over the place, this is how we will experience the outer world. But if the outer world didn't matter at all, what if at our center there were a place that is always calm, where the mind doesn't have a million things to say, where problems and challenges aren't nearly as important as we think they are? Today requires you to take an internal break and go to that silent space to regroup. Meditate on stillness within. Choose a peaceful mind and nothing else. You will be amazed how easily everything falls into place once you do. I was just talking about a vacation the other day.
Like to where? Anywhere?
I live in Florida, and I have never been to the Keys.
I wanted to go to the Keys so bad when I was out there. There's one special key just for like beachcombing.
Yeah, I've never been there. Like all my friends, everybody I know that lives here.
Well, are you gonna go?
Yeah, eventually I'm going. I'm hooking the boat up and driving my ass down there.
You gotta record that because that's like so my. I had maps of the ones oh my gosh. You know.
Yeah, my buddy that's going out in the boat with me tomorrow, he used to go to the Keys like every year. And I've never been. It's ridiculous. It's like, I get on 95 and just head south, and eventually I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's the opposite end of Florida from where I live at, but hey, still in the same state. It's kind of still in the same state. I can't even talk right tonight. Rented lips. You're welcome, Wolfie. Yeah, I do love Florida. There's Ariana. I'm a Florida boy for sure. It's got its share of crazy assholes, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, it didn't everywhere.
I think we bring one to do.
Yeah. Taking a break is a good thing for sure. Did we get everybody? Did we miss anybody?
We got everybody.
And yeah, it is a long haul from North Florida all the way to South Florida to the tip of the farthest you can go to the opposite end of Florida. If you go any further, you'll be in Cuba in 90 miles.
Oh my god. Well, that was good times. Thank you, everybody. We're not going to see you until next year.
Might be next year until we see you. Yeah. It's the end of the year. Tomorrow's the last day. So be careful because the cops are out. They're trying to get those last minute tickets in for the end of the year. They're everywhere here. They're all over the place.
And I'm riding dirty, so I really can't go nowhere.
So yeah, everybody have a great new year, and hopefully it'll be a good new year. Whereas it's probably going to be weird for a bit, but
we will adjust. We are a resilient people.
Yep. It could always be lots worse.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember who is on Paranormal Soup Sunday.
Oh, Jason, in fact, just sent me the flyer that I asked for.
I was gonna say.
And it is dun, 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 dun. John Stedman, Aliens, Robots, Virtual Reality Idols in the Science Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft, Isaac and William Gibson. So Jason gets to geek out on all the sci-fi stuff.
Yep.
Sunday. So I know he's looking really forward to that one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sunday. So y'all have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, bringing in the new.
Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber. Stay where you're at. Call a taxi. Call the tipsy toe. Sleep it off. Just please don't drive.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of crazies out there. Probably not as many as normal, considering, what's going on. But who knows? Who knows what it'll bring. But yeah, stay safe. Have a happy new year. Love y'all. We'll talk at you next year. Good night.
Good night.